Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on Their Fight Story. We have Matt Fleming with us. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Where do you currently train?
So I currently train at 4M Fitness in Indian Trail, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte.
And how did you get into martial arts?
When I was about 6 years old, I started off in Taekwondo, and then when about 12 years old, I switched over to Muay Thai, kickboxing, Jiu-Jitsu, and I just wanted to compete and keep training from there. Martial arts has kind of been my life with everything. Um,
And what is your focus right now? Is it Muay Thai? Is it Taekwondo? Is it Jiu Jitsu?
My focus is definitely Muay Thai and kickboxing. I kind of fight under whichever rule set I have at that moment.
Mhm. Okay. And have you ever fought MMA?
Yes, I have fought MMA. I fought MMA as an amateur and as a pro.
Okay. And what is your current record as a Muay Thai fighter?
Right now, I'm 1-1.
What impact has martial arts have in your life?
Um, that's actually for me. It's hard to answer that sometimes because it's like I don't really remember a time I wasn't like martial arts wasn't doing something in my life, but I will definitely say like learning my values and learning how to respect others and just learning to push myself. Again, like I've grown up with martial arts. Like since I was a kid, like as soon as I stepped on the mat, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I was in love and I wanted to make my life out of it. But like, so it's hard for me to remember a time I didn't have
Mhm.
martial arts, but I definitely know if I didn't have martial arts, I don't know who I would be today. Like it shaped me as a person now. And I know that like things I know how to manage and get through in life, I wouldn't know how if it wasn't for martial arts and the struggles that came with it and the successes that came with it.
What struggles came with it?
Just dealing with losing. Like I'm ultra competitive and I've lost and learning how to grow through that. And then, um, for example, as a kid, like failing belt testings, not achieving certain goals or seeing that, okay, you can still achieve that goal, but it's going to have some roadblocks and just those, I would say definitely dealing with some losses and having to push through tough, even pushing through tough wins are like those type of moments that I learned from that, just relate to other situations in life as well.
You started at a young age training martial arts. What advice would you give people as to why they should start training martial arts?
Um, my thing that I tell a lot of my students, and whether they're young or older, is martial arts is it's an art and it's a very personal art, right? So it's your own painting, it's your own creativity. Um, it's your own art, but it's your art of who you are. So through martial arts, yes, you learn self-defense, yes, you learn confidence, yes, you learn humility, all that, but biggest thing I can tell you is you're gonna create your own masterpiece of who you are. And that's probably the best thing I can tell people. Like any type of martial art, there's no wrong martial art. Everybody has the one that they prefer. Just find one, and again, it will help with confidence. It will help with so just how to handle situations and self-defense. But for the most part, you're gonna create your own masterpiece, who you are, and your own painting.
That's beautiful because so many people compete. They do compete in martial arts, but they also sometimes compete as to which martial art is better than the other. Where in reality, it's an individual.
Mm-hmm.
We I may not do taekwondo, but I do love training Muay Thai, and I love jujitsu. So what works for me may not work for another person, and that's very important for people to understand that just because it works for one may not work for the other. But as long as you find your passion and you follow it and you're true to yourself, then you'll be fine.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
Yeah. At what point did you realize this was the career and the path that you wanted to take?
I think I was around like 10 years old. So when I was in Taekwondo, I started competing like right away, like in tournaments, even as a white belt. And then when they allowed sparring, the sparring was more closer to like more like what you see with full contact kickboxing, point kickboxing. It wasn't more Olympic. It wasn't necessarily Olympic Taekwondo. It was closer to that kickboxing with, I was under ITA, and a lot of the schools are called Tiger Rock now. Um, and I remember seeing Chuck Norris's World Combat League, and I remember watching Pat Barry and Jerome Miller fight, and I was like, I don't know what it was. Like I saw Stephen Thompson fight, I saw all those guys, but I remember going to my dad and be like, I want to do that. So like I got super into it, and then when Lion Fights was first going, they had Kevin Ross and all those guys. Like they became people I like really, really kind of looked up to and idolized. And I was like, okay, I definitely want to do that. And fortunately, kind of right around the time I was 12, MMA and martial arts gym opened up, and when that happened, I was able to join it, and that's when I started training full time or not full time, but I was still in school and everything. But I started training every day in Muay Thai and also in Jiu Jitsu because I loved that too.
Hmm. Who has been the biggest impact in your life?
Um, that's hard too. So everybody, I've been very, very fortunate. My parents are amazing. My dad has been a part of my martial arts journey since I was a kid. He joined the same Taekwondo school I did about 3 months after I started, and we've been doing martial arts together since then. And we co-own Forum Fitness together, as well as our business partner. So he's been a big impact. But all my different coaches I've had multiple coaches who've made great impacts in my life. I have coaches now that have made great impacts in my life, and then even just some people I've met who I just see every couple months. Like I've been very, very fortunate to have a lot of great people in my life.
Yeah, that's definitely very important to have the right people in your corner, the right people supporting you, because this journey isn't easy, and if we don't have the right people with us to support us, it becomes very difficult, and we lose focus, and we forget what our passion is, and we let
Mhm.
the wrong emotions guide us. But when we
Yep.
have the right support, it makes it so much easier. Is there a specific fight that stands out?
So a specific fight for me that I like mentioned to everybody, and then I honestly still think like 2 weeks ago I had a fight, and it was definitely a tough fight. I was a dork and didn't check leg kicks till after my leg was already hurt and injured. And I had to fight through that. But I still think my toughest fight to date was definitely when I fought Chris Crawford for Lightning Strikes the first time, which is down here in North Carolina, Triangle Kickboxing Promotions. It's the main kickboxing promotion here, and it took a lot of effort for me to get onto their promotion, and like asking him multiple times, hey, can I fight for you? Can I fight for you? And then I was like, hey, can I fight this guy for you? And I knew I was taking on a tough opponent. I mean, I won that one by split decision, and that was literally a fight that could have gone either way. I mean, we were just shot for shot the whole fight and going after each other. So like that's the fight like I say it was toughest today, and that's the one that to me was probably most meaningful because that's the one that I consider kicked off my kickboxing career because that's when I started focusing on kickboxing and fighting that path. But definitely like my first and second fights. First fight was at IKF Worlds, and I learned what it's like to like it was my first time. I was 15. It was my first time going through a full training camp. And I learned what it's like to just be outclassed because my opponent was much more experienced, had fought more. He had like 8 fights, and that was my first one because that's what happens at that tournament.
Hmm.
And he just outclassed me. And then the second time I competed, it was 2 years later, and I lost the first round with 2 standing 8 counts. I got knocked out, woke back up, and I just kept fighting. I had to fight through that, and so those fights are definitely super important to me. Like my first 2 fights being losses, but also being losses that I had to really, really work through. And I was like the whole time, it was not easy at any moment. Those are definitely super important because I learned those lessons super early as a fighter. It wasn't like I had a lot of success and all of a sudden met a loss. It was like, and then of course with that Chris Crawford fight, just being such a hard fight to where I knew that like, okay, this is the career I want.
What did you learn through those the tournaments that you were doing, and what did you do with that information? And it's because a lot of people, they think it's easy. They think it's easy just to get in a ring or get in a cage and everything just falls right into place. And then when it doesn't work out for them, their mindset changes.
Definitely with the help of others. So I will say I'm one of those people, like I'm a very critical person of myself. Like even after wins, I'm one of those people like as soon as I walk out, I'm already like, okay, what did I do wrong?
Mhm.
And when I'm a like I hate losing, and when I lose, I will say I don't have the best mindset on it, but I have people around me who are like, hey, there are still good things. Like like learn to accept the loss, understand like it happened. Like it's the past. Like it happened. Yeah, it sucks, but you only got two options: quit, give up, or get better and move forward. And so, biggest thing I learned is just accepting like, yes, I lost. Yes, I'm not happy with it, but I will get better and I will improve because I need to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be better than I was yesterday, even if it's just like half a percentage. I want to be better than I was yesterday.
Mhm.
And then always like setting new goals. Like,
Yeah, that's very, very important because things happen, and if we stay in that mindset where we lose our focus, it could just affect our whole career. We have to find our the right mindset, focus on our path, our journey. What is our goal? And with that, where is it that you want to go from here with your career?
for me, so my goal is I want to fight all over the world. I don't necessarily want to just fight here in the States. Obviously I want to become well known here, but I want to travel fighting all through the country. Go to Thailand, fight a Thai, go to Europe, fight a European. Like I want to do that. And at the same time, what I tell people is my goal is to be the first person to hold every single belt that ONE FC offers. Like that's kind of the promotion. I enjoy ONE FC. I like that they have multiple styles
Mhm.
between kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and now they're starting their grappling scene. And I'm like, if I'm going to set a goal, I'm going to set a freaking high goal and I'm going to go after that. And so I said, I'm going to go after every single belt that ONE FC has. It's kind of weird, but I set a deadline for myself that at 35, like I'm going to consider retiring because my first fight was at 15. I do have some other goals, like coaching goals and stuff that I want to set and all that. So I was like, all right, we're gonna go after this goal. 35, we're gonna reassess, see what we want to do. So I'm like, I almost put a timestamp on myself to have to hustle, push, and get after this goal. So I want to go to ONE FC and I want to take every single belt they have and hold them and defend all of them.
That's
It's
awesome.
a big goal, but I want a big scary goal because that's what's going to push me and drive me forward. I've 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 taken fights where I didn't have goals behind them, and it's too easy to mentally break. I've done things without a goal behind it, and it's easy to mentally break and question yourself. But I feel like when you set big goals like that, and it almost scares you to even have to say it, then that's a good thing. That means it's gonna drive you. Like I'm getting fired up saying it. Like me saying it's like scary to say it's because
Mhm.
I think this is the first time I've said it on an interview, to be completely honest. Um, and to be honest, this is a somewhat newer goal that I've set. This is one that I set earlier this year because it was one of those things I needed. Like, okay, I need to find a big goal, and I just thought critically, thought, and I was like, that's what I want.
Mhm.
That's what fires me up. Like, what promotion do I watch more than any other? Want to see in line fights. Like, those are the two promotions I literally will watch more than any other.
Mhm.
And
That's awesome. I look forward to seeing you accomplish and reach all of these goals that you have.
thank
It's
you.
gonna be awesome. How would you balance your personal life with your career if you are setting all these amazing goals for yourself?
That is a great question. I am still figuring that out.
Okay.
My So I'm very grateful and I'm very fortunate for where I'm at. First of all, I'm thankful for like Prime because Sean will help me figure things out, helps me get training I need, and will, like, he keeps it real with me.
Hmm.
Um, but also, like, I'm fortunate, I'm training in my gym. Like, I teach and I work, and I'm a co-owner of my gym that I train at, as well as I travel because I travel to train with Ricky Rainey and multiple people. But and I have great coaches here. I have a great strength and conditioning coach, a great nutritionist. Like, I'm very, very fortunate to have access to these people. And I know there's a lot of fighters that don't. And so those people help me figure that out. So kind of just making this whole thing my life is my, like, what's made me very fortunate. Like, I personal train out of here. Next week I'm going back to school for some classes, like little things like that. But these people help me do that. And the fact that I'm fortunate enough to be able to train multiple times a day without it hurting my schedule, and be able to add these other things in my life during my schedule. Like, that's how, that, I guess you could say, that's how I found balance, is not necessarily having balance, but making it my lifestyle. Like, my lifestyle is nothing but martial arts and training.
Yeah.
Like, I'm running a little camp for our amateurs, like, and I'm full in that, and I love it. Like, just the fact that I get to do what I love. I'm young, I'm 27, and, like, I get to do what I love, and I literally am making a career that, like, many people don't get to do till they're older, or till after they retire from fighting.
Hmm.
And so I'm just very fortunate and thankful to have this opportunity and be able to do it. Like, I don't think I'm definitely one of those people that I don't think balance really comes till after. Like, you got to be focused, and you got to kind of put everything forward to it. And so that's kind of where I'm at on it. There's no real work-life balance for me, or any type of balance. It's okay, everything, like, I'm full-fledged and making my lifestyle as a martial artist. Everything I do is being a martial artist. My identity is being a martial artist, and that's my lifestyle. Like, that's what, in my work life, that's my personal life. Everything is being a martial artist and just training hard and being a fighter as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. As long as you have the right mindset, that's key. Your mindset is super key as to everything that you want to do and achieve in life. So as long as you stay focused, you stay calm, stay focused, you know what your purpose is, you know what your why is, and you have the right people in front of you, behind you, and by your side, you're good because they're covering you, they're guiding you, and they're allowing you to see things that you may not be able to see because you're focusing on other parts of your career and your life. And you mentioned Sean, which I was going to ask. Who is your manager?
Yeah. So my manager is Sean Rockwell with Prime Elite Management. Um, he's awesome. Like, he's helped me out. He saw me in my last amateur fight where I won the um, Triangle Kickboxing Promotions title with Lightning Strikes title. And then we got into touch, and he's helped me get my pro career started.
How important was it to have a management team?
I it's been very important. I didn't really have one before. Like, I had someone that was kind of working as a manager for me, but they understood the game a little bit,
Hmm.
but not as in depth as Sean. They didn't have the connections as Sean. They like, finding the right opponents and all that. That just wasn't in their aspect, and it
Hmm.
wasn't what they do. And being with Sean, him getting me the training I need, like getting me over to Hard Knocks. When I met you, and after the Lion fights, the next day I was over at Hard Knocks training, like,
Hmm.
getting these opportunities for me, helping me connect with people in order to train. Like, that's something that um, like, I don't think I would have been able to do without a management team, you
Hmm.
know, and and then, like, he's in communication with my coaches, like, even when like, more than I know. So it's been awesome. Like, it's been, so we're like, it's been ideal. Like, it's
Hmm.
been an ideal situation for me.
Yeah, that's awesome because it's important that you get connected with the right management team because the right management team is what's going to help your career.
Yep.
It's either going to help it grow or it's going to help it sink. And the important part is that you want it to grow. And that, I emphasize that because I've seen people that are fighters that will jump at the chance to be saying that they're managed, to say, oh, I have a manager, but they don't really know what the manager does or who the
Yeah.
person is, because then you have some managers that only care about themselves, only to say, I have 10, 15 fighters under me. I have this and I have that. It's so important, to have the right people in your corner, especially if you're trying to make this a career. It's
Hmm.
very, very, very important. Before we conclude with this interview, what can we look forward stage in your fight career?
Um, just look forward to me coming out and being better and better each fight. Like I'm gonna be better every single fight. This past fight was it showed that I don't quit, and at the same time, like it showed that because like I mean, walking out to the third round of my last fight was not easy to do. Like my
Mm-hmm.
coach said some choice words to me to make me go like, yes, sir. All right, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went out and fight hard. And but at the same time, I'm always getting better. Every single fight, I try to show some type of improvement. And at the same time, like anybody that watches me fight or follows me fight, like you're gonna see my my journey to greatness. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna reach greatness, and every time you see me fight, you're gonna see me be a little bit closer, a little bit closer. You may see me fall back, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lose again. It's gonna happen. Like anybody that tries to say, "Oh, I'm never losing again," who knows, right? But you're gonna see me even become greater again. Like even during that loss, like I may have done something better than I did last time.
Mm-hmm.
So biggest thing to look forward to from me is just see me grow, see me improve. At the same time, you're still gonna see me be me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're still gonna see me be Matt the Disciple Fleming and stay that person. You're not gonna see me try to put this arrogant ego fake identity. Nope,
Mm-hmm.
I'm me. If I'm not a fit for you, I'm not a fit for you. But that's another thing because I do want to be one of those people that doesn't do a bunch of trash talking. One, I'm terrible about at it. I'm horrible at trash talking, but like I'm just bad at it. Um, Two, I'm not a big fan of it, and I've never stood by it, especially like disrespecting people's
Mm-hmm.
cultures and everything. Like I'm not a fan of that. So you will always see me being that person, and you'll always see me being real to who I am. Like you're not gonna like the wackiest thing I've done was I got blue hair for a fight, and even then that wasn't like really me, you know. And that there was a lot going on during that time to where I was like, let's try this. But
Mm-hmm.
so biggest thing for people to watch out for is watch my journey to greatness, and
Mm-hmm.
then, but also watch me still be me. I
Mm-hmm.
tell people I am who I am. I don't change who I am. I just improve who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you'll see that within my journey as well. You'll see that through fighting and everything. I am who I am, but I'm going to get better every single time.
Awesome. Do you have any shout outs?
Biggest shout outs I got is uh, Prime Elite Management, of course. I've got my strength and conditioning coach, JB. Danny Smalls is my boxing coach. Ricky Rainey is my kickboxing coach. I'll shout out Forum Fitness. Invictus Kickboxing is my system. Kismet Fitness and Nutrition is my nutritionist. And just thank you to everybody that supports me. Steve Walker has trained with me. He's been supportive of me. I've gotten to meet everybody at Lion Fights. I got to meet you there. Just thank you to all you guys for one, watching me, paying attention to me, and two, like thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and show a little bit of who I am
Mm-hmm.
as a martial artist and as a person. Because to be honest, my identity is a martial artist. I will always be a martial artist before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could go on and on, but just thank you to everybody that's been a part of my life. Anybody that's watching this, whether you've been a positive or negative impact in my life, thank you. And just thank you for the opportunity given to me by everybody I work with, Prime, you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Right. Thank you.